dynamic duo is back. Now we ask the question to Stephen A. Smith, or Naismith, where will OKC finish in the West?
Hard to say at this particular moment in time, but if I had to venture to guess, I'd say Oklahoma City would finish as one of the top 5 seeds in the Western Conference.
5.
I would say
long way to go.
I'd say right around 5. It's a little long way to go, but I'm confident that they'll be able to pull it off. When the Oklahoma City Thunder are fully healthy, they are one of the top 4 teams in the NBA.
No doubt.
Kevin Durant is a superstar. Russell Westbrook is a superstar talent. Serge Ibaka is no scrub, and because of the absence of Westbrook, along with Kevin Durant, the Jeremy Lambs of the world, along with the Reggie Jacksons coming off the bench, having to play pivotal roles in the earlier part of the season, I think helped them. They played effectively off the bench yesterday afternoon, combined for 21 points. I think it was like on 12 or 21 shooting, combined for 30 points, something along those lines. Kevin Durant was a little bit rusty, but still, rusty and all, playing just 30 minutes. Still dropped 27. Still shot 50% from the field. Still hit 3 of his 8 3-point shots. And Russell Westbrook, he's not shooting 6 for 20 on most nights.
No.
I mean, when you're driving into the lane and you have this emerging superstar in Anthony Davis to deal with, you're going to have a problem. You're driving into the lane. This brother's 6'10", got a long wingspan, can handle the ball, can take it from the perimeter, can drive to the basket, can finish stuff on a break. Anthony Davis right now is averaging 25 and 11. With 3 blocks a game and 2 steals. This dude is legit. Plain and simple. And when you've got guys like him to deal with when you're driving into the lane, this is the reason why Russell Westbrook had 6 of his shots blocked. That does not happen to Russell Westbrook very often. It happened last night. Mere aberration, mere bag of shells, nothing to be alarmed about. But when you look at the Western Conference, there's obviously a lot of teams to think about. San Antonio, Dallas is coming. The Clippers are there. Memphis, okay? And then, of course, there are teams like Phoenix and Portland and Houston that you can't ignore, so we understand that. But Oklahoma City is going to pass at least half of those teams. I think they'll finish in the top 5. They'll end up in the first round as a 5th or 4th seed. And unfortunately, a 5th or 4th seed, and unfortunately, I feel sorry for whoever the 4th seed is because they ain't beating Oklahoma City in the first round.
Right now, I could see the Oklahoma City Thunder becoming the scariest 8th seed in the history of the NBA. They got a long ways to go. Again, it was just one game last night. I thought Kevin Durant was really, really good. Rust or no rust, I thought he was really good. Russell did not have a good game, and you made a good point because he got 6 of his shots blocked, but he also had 7 turnovers to go with 7 assists. That won't cut it. But what really won't cut it for the Oklahoma City Thunder, what has been their calling card? What have they hung their hat on over the last 3 years? Their defense. They gave up 40 points in the second quarter last night. 40 in the second. Do the math on that. That's a lot of points. 69 at halftime. That's not who they are.
That won't last.
Okay. Well, Kevin and Russell are going to have to get back into the defensive mode because when you come out early after injuries, you're just thinking about your offense first. You know, can I get back in the flow of this? And again, they're going to have to find their way with all the other starters who have been starting, you know, because they're going to have to mix and match with other players. If they figure it out defensively with Serge Ibaka, there's still, Stephen A., remember, last year, the Dallas Mavericks were the 8th seed. They were a dangerous 8th seed because they gave San Antonio the best series of anybody, including the Miami Heat in the finals.
And they still hang their hat on that, too.
They do. They do. Okay, so last year, Dallas made the 8th seed at 49 and 33. Think about that, 49 and 33. So now, to get to 49 and 33, the Thunder would have to go 44 and 20 the rest of the way.
I think that's very reasonable.
Fair. It's feasible. It's feasible.
Very reasonable.
I'm just talking about the 8th seed now.
Right.
But what makes it a little less feasible is that we're talking about in New Orleans. You're talking about the emerging superstar.
Okay.
We've been talking about DeMarcus Cousins in Sacramento, emerging, at least star. I mean, I might not go to superstar, but star. Phoenix, all of a sudden with Isaiah Thomas and Little Bledsoe and Dragic, they're a factor here, right? Those are 3 teams that did not make the playoffs last year. You have to deal with those teams on a nightly basis.
Yeah, but my argument to you would be on several levels. Number one, so do the rest of the teams in the West.
Okay.
They got to deal with those 3 teams too. Number two, you brought up New Orleans. They're just 8-8. You brought up Sacramento. They're just 9-9.
Okay, but
you
that's good. Those are good records.
But what I'm saying
they're
to you,
legit.
What I'm saying to you is that they're coming.
Okay.
But this is Oklahoma City we're talking about, who's already there. Now,
Okay.
if Kevin Durant is gone and Russell Westbrook is gone, then it's an entirely different conversation. But Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, 26 years old. Excuse me, they've been here before. And they know what they're doing. And Kevin Durant, Rusty, straight off the streets with a boot on, dropped 27.
In 30 minutes.
In 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I am not concerned in the slightest about Oklahoma City.
And unless he has other issues with his foot.
No.
That's a whole other issue.
Always throw out health. Of course, if health issues
Okay.
come into the fray, then obviously, that's a caveat you got to throw in there, and it modifies any position. But assuming they are healthy, I'm not concerned about Oklahoma City in the slightest. There is no way. I'm trying to tell you, first of all, New Orleans, Sacramento, Phoenix are not going to the playoffs ahead of Oklahoma City. Let me add this to the equation. I'm telling you right now, Houston probably won't either. Portland probably won't either. I'm talking about ahead of Oklahoma City. I'm not saying
they're going to pass all those teams.
I'm saying to you, don't you worry about those teams being ahead of Oklahoma City.
Okay, then you know what you're going to have to win? You're probably going to have to win 55 games to do what you're talking about.
Wow.
So now you're really going to have to go some.
Also keep in mind that seedings, it's not just about the teams 1 through 8. It's about who wins your division, too. And so when you look at Oklahoma City's division, all they really have to concern themselves with is Portland. Portland's at 14-4.
Okay.
That's it. You ain't got to worry about
really
Denver.
Care about division?
No. What I'm saying is, I'm talking about because that dictates seeding to some degree. So what I'm saying to you is that Denver, Utah, Minnesota don't even count to me.
No,
it's about Portland. And do I believe that right now at 5-13, essentially 9 games back, could they catch Portland? Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Stephen A., what about Anthony Davis? You went there, but talk about this kid.
This young brother's special. I mean, first of all, we knew he was going to be special. #1 overall pick in the draft a few years back. Won a national championship for Kentucky, John Calipari. This dude plays defense, reminded a lot of people of Bill Russell because of his sleight of built, combined with the fact that he liked to block shots and loved defending. But when you consider the evolution that has taken place in his offensive repertoire, I think that's what has caught the basketball world by surprise and has raised flags all over the place about this guy and who he is. This dude puts it on the floor. This dude is pulling up for jump shots. At Kentucky, we just saw him be a one-man zone, essentially, and patrolled the paint and swatted everything away. We thought that it's almost sort of similar to Patrick Ewing. Obviously, Patrick Ewing and him are 2 different players. But in terms of their reputation coming out of college, Patrick Ewing coming out of Georgetown, him coming out of Kentucky, they were Bill Russell types. They were defensive players. They were like one-man zones. And then you hope that they would be able to do something offensively. Well, Patrick Ewing came, developed a turnaround jump shot, particularly from the baseline, had the running hook in the lane, did some damage, was a perennial 20-point-per-game scorer. In the case of this kid, Anthony Davis, this dude is pulling up. He's pulling up off the dribble. He's creating his own shot. He's driving to the lane, and he's finishing fast breaks. There is an offensive repertoire with this kid, and at 6'10", 6'11", with his wingspan and his arsenal, this dude is emerging as one of the elite front court players in this game.
Okay, I hear you. You're forgetting, early in his high school career, he played guard before he started growing, so he has guard skills. Last night, when they had technical foul shots to shoot, he shot them.
Yeah.
He shot their technicals? Are you kidding me? He had 6 steals last night. He was playing like a guard/center last night. Okay, now, since you went to special, I think it's time. And I love this kid. We had him on the show at New Orleans.
Yes, the All-Star last year.
Yeah, because he was the hometown
star,
right?
That's right.
And he said at that point, he said, I think I am the MVP of the league. Remember that?
Deadly serious.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm going to give him this nod here on the show. I think it's time for us to start evaluating him as a superstar.
Okay.
This team has to make the playoffs this year. Okay. Or something's going to be wrong here. Something's going to be wrong.
All right.
Nope.
Hey,
he's got Ashik last night. Ashik got 14 boards last night. Okay, just for the record.
But in fairness to him, Asik has to continue to do that. Tyreek Evans has to continue to
good
play. He was good last night. He's averaging 15 a game.
He had 30.
Okay? I'm saying he had 30 last night. But you look at
Ryan Anderson had 23 and 11.
Ryan Anderson coming off the bench, and we all know his story and what he's been through. God bless him, and we wish him the best moving forward. But let me tell you something. This dude is doing well coming off the bench. I need more from Eric Gordon. I need more from somebody like that. Drew Holiday, he's Mr. Steady at that point guard spot. He can really play. He can really defend. Tyreek Evans has to keep it up. Asik has to keep it up. It can't just be, oh, this guy, Anthony Davis, you know, he's got to do it all. He needs to do what he's doing consistently.
Okay, but superstars make everybody better.
But wait a minute.
This should be an 8-seed playoff team unless Oklahoma City did.
What's your hesitation?
Well, the hesitation is the Western Conference, how tough it is, because obviously we understand there's a huge discrepancy between the East and the West in the NBA, not to mention the fact that you got a lot of guys around him learning how to win. This guy, it's not like he's LeBron who's won it and can teach it. He's learning himself on this level, but he's doing what he's doing. So when you talk about accountability, for me, all I'm going to hold him accountable for at this juncture is to do what he's doing, to show that he can be consistent. I can't hold him responsible for what Tyreek Evans and Asik and Drew Holiday and Eric Gordon, who have all been in the league longer, don't do. I can't hold him accountable for that.
Okay, but what is this? I'm losing track. Third year?
Third
year? I think it's
time.
third year. It's time.
All right.
It's time. If he's that good, it's time.
Last night, Anthony Davis, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 steals, 4 blocks.
This dude is the package. Dude is the package.
Does it all. We want to know what you think about OKC. We don't want to leave you out on this debate at home. You heard Skip. He said he'd be I guess OKC would be a scary 8.
The scariest ever. And
you said 4th or 5th seed coming out of the West for OKC. What do you guys think?
Maybe better.
Oh, all right. You going even bigger.
I mean, that's just my basement expectation. 44 and 20, easy. Oklahoma City, please. Please.
What do you guys think at
Kevin
home?
Durant.
Use that hashtag KD back on the